WTF Nation Radio. This is WTF Nation Radio.
WTF Nation Radio. WTF Nation Radio.
A lot of people look at us as robots or just out doing a job, but everything we see and do affects us just like it does everybody else.
A lot of problems with first responders and veterans is that now we're in a battlefield that's very different.
I've lost more friends to suicide than I did in combat, and it really hurts.
When you push the human envelope to those maximum extents, physically, psychologically, emotionally, and spiritually, and then you pull that plug, nothing prepares you for the silence. Nothing prepares you for that void.
You can't come that close to death without it having some effect on you.
I'll never forget my wife telling me, you know, you're not the same Brett that I married.
What War Horses does is it puts you in that environment to, in essence, look in the mirror. But that mirror's that horse. And that horse is going to tell you where you're at.
You got to relax. You got to calm down. You got to slow your mind down and just think about this one thing, controlling that horse.
The first thing we do before we get on a horse, we breathe. To let go of everything. Let go of everything in your head. If I don't let go of everything, I cannot be present with the horse.
It's magic. I just started crying. It was the first time in my life that I literally let everything go.
Compassion, generosity, love, all of these things trickle back into what it is to be a human being.
It's completely changed me.
All the confidence I had lost, it started coming back working with these horses. They've given me my life back.
Everything stated on WTF Nation Radio is to be considered the opinion of the person that stated it, and not an official representation of WTF Nation Radio or U.S. Army WTF Moments.
Price does not include tax, title, or license. Some assembly required. Each item sold separately. Batteries not included. Objects in mirror are closer than they appear. If conditions persist, contact a physician. Individual results may vary. Keep out of the reach of children. Avoid prolonged exposure to direct sunlight. Keep in a cool, dark place. And
please enjoy the show. Shots.
I don't know shit about fuck.
All right, everybody, what's going on? It is Friday, the 10th day of March 2023, and it's time to get started with Friday Night Freedom. My name is Kaz. Up there in the bubble is the bubble of disrespect is Pookie.
Yes. Had to unmute my mic. Sorry, forgot to push the buttons.
Hey, that's my job. I'm supposed to forget to push the buttons. Anyway,
if I'm forgetting, it's a good night.
So we are here for, I don't know what episode this is. I guess I ought to have a it's like all the other shows have, like, this is episode 14 or this is episode 74 of whatever.
Like episode like 3000.
Right. So I don't know. This is one of those episodes. That's why I put the date on it.
Oh, so at least 52 a year. We've been doing this for how long? I mean,
I'd say we're good for, I don't know, 40-ish a year, just because of things and stuff and work and life comes up, and sometimes you can't do a show, and so I think we're good for tonight. So far, so good.
So far, so good.
I remembered to press the correct buttons, so we're doing pretty good. So anyway, how is everybody, man? This has been one of those weeks. I was listening to Sergeant's Time last night, and toward the end of the show, Ice was saying, okay, tomorrow, he's doing the housekeeping at the end of the show, and he was saying, yeah, tomorrow we have a guest, and it's so and so, and I'm like, hold on a minute, that's the guest that's coming on Tuesday night, and he goes, yeah, for Pop Culture Warrior, blah 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 blah. I'm like, there's no fucking way it's Monday. It's been a tough week, dude.
This week has been a freaking sideshow clown world week. If I can even, just the insanity that's been going on is just nuts.
The news is nuts. The shit going on in the world is nuts. Work was crazy. It's just a wild ass week. Thanks, Eric. You just put the words right in my mouth. He goes,
Heath, since I got out of the Army.
You started growing that as soon as you got out, and you haven't.
I've trimmed it down, but I have not completely shaved it off since I got out of the Army in 2014, early 2014. I have not cut this. The razor has not touched thy skin, other than the head, which is I'm partially bald. I shave my head still, but.
But that's the only razor that touches your skin.
No, this ain't going nowhere.
You don't shave your legs or nothing?
No. Why would I do that?
I don't know. Maybe you're a competitive swimmer. I don't know.
Ingrown hairs are a bitch, man.
Oh my God, I am disappointed to hear that. Sports Bar just chimed in. He says he just got done watching History of the World Part 2, and he hasn't been that disappointed since New Coke came out.
Okay, explain to me the New Coke. I might have been like I was probably a child when it came out. So
they were okay. You've always had classic Coke, or you've always had Coke. Coke was always Coke.
Coke is Coke, right?
Yeah, but then they tried to reinvent themselves, and they said, okay, this is the New Coke. Okay, but the thing is, to me, in my memory, New Coke tasted the same as the old damn Coke. It was just in a different looking can.
So okay, I've heard people say it was like made with real sugar or something, and it like threw people off or something like that because they had switched to the high fructose corn syrup, and then they would try to do the New Coke back to the original sugar, and people lost their minds about it. But then my generation loves the Mexican Cokes because it has real sugar in it. So I mean,
I'll drink. I mean, they had. I mean, here they have. Of course, you can buy the bottles of Mexican Coke, but then Pepsi and both Pepsi and Coke. Does Coke have it? I don't think Coke has it, but Pepsi has the with sugar. They have.
But Pepsi sucks compared to Coke.
Compared to Coke, it's got to be Coke. I'm a Coke guy. I'm a Coke fiend. I just want to put that out there. If I'm drinking soda, it's going to be Coke. But down here, everything is a Coke. It just depends on what flavor do you want. What flavor Coke you want? Well, I'd like a Mountain Dew. Well, okay, here you go. Or it's a Dr.
My
Pepper.
area is dominated by a bunch of retirees from the north. So anytime you go to a restaurant, it's Pepsi products. Even at the Mexican restaurant, Pepsi product. Pepsi owns my area.
Okay.
You can't even find root beer. I just saw root beer the other day at the gas station. It blew my mind. I was like, holy shit, that's the first time I've seen root beer around here ever.
They have they sell like in the grocery stores, they sell like okay, we used to have, and you might remember this, Dublin Dr. Pepper.
Dublin Dr.
Pepper. They had a factory, a maker of Dr. Pepper in Dublin, Texas, and they made it with pure cane sugar.
Well, the real sugar Dr. Pepper is where it's at, man.
So they ended up selling. They went out of business because they were bought by Big Dr. Pepper, and Big Dr. Pepper make the Dr. Pepper with the sugar in it, and that's good. That tastes 10 times better than regular Dr. Pepper. And some people just don't like Dr. Pepper. It must be a Texas thing. I mean, a lot of people around the world love Dr. Pepper, but it's a thing here.
It's a Texas thing. It's definitely a Texas thing. I'll give you that. It's like birch beer. I mentioned birch beer, and people are like, "What the hell is that?" I was like, "That's like northern Pennsylvania. Like it's an Amish thing. You just have to know about it."
Birch, like birch the tree beer.
Birch tree, yeah. Birch tree beer. Well, I mean, it's like sarsaparilla or root beer is made with sassafras, I think.
Yeah.
Sarsaparilla was a thing too, big up north. But no, birch beer, it's so good. So good.
What does it taste like?
I don't know how to explain it. It tastes like birch. Have you ever ripped a piece of birch off of piece of birch bark off of birch tree and chewed on it? That's the best way to explain it. Huh?
I haven't. I have never been inclined to eat a tree.
Birch bark is pretty tasty.
Oh, well, okay. I usually bring snacks if I'm out in the woods, but okay. I've never even heard of that. And I did a portion of my growing up.
Is a South Carolina, North Carolina thing. That is definitely an southern East Coast thing. Cheerwine is.
Oh, I love Cheerwine. I do like Cheerwine.
I think it's better than Dr. Pepper. I lived in Texas forever, and the first time I had Cheerwine, I was like, "Holy shit, this is better than Dr. Pepper."
I think the first time I had that, the first time I had Cheerwine, I think I was in the Army. Maybe it was AIT. I went to AIT at Gordon.
Yeah, that's Georgia, North Carolina, right? South Carolina. Yeah, it's big in Florida too. I mean, I get it here. Like, just go to the Food Line, boom, it's right there. You pay. I mean, it's like Pepsi and Coke always have their deals or whatever. This Cheerwine, I think, is its own independent brewer, bottler. What the best way to put it?
I'm with you, Holly. Nothing's better. There's very few things better than Dr. Pepper. As far as sodas go.
Oh, I like Dr. Pepper, but I think Cheerwine's up there. If you've never had Cheerwine, try it. No,
he said he tried ranch and a pickle flavored soda last month. Where did I see it? Someone dropped it. It might have been Radar dropped it in our chat. He says they're coming up with a ranch flavored ice cream.
Oh, where was I at? Colonial Williamsburg, Virginia. It's like, you go into the area where it's the original settlement, and then you go outside Williamsburg town, real town. They have tourist traps like everywhere.
Okay.
One store is nothing but candies and sodas, and they had like bacon, ranch, pickle.
Wow.
Just if you could think of a flavor, they had it. Broccoli soda. I think they had broccoli soda. I was like, who the hell is gonna drink this?
I'll try anything once. I'm not gonna throw the baby out with the bathwater. Maybe I'd like it.
I got that. I got a case of that Dr. Pepper cream soda chilling in the house right now. It's pretty good shit. No?
Now, Holly says she survives off of Dr. Pepper.
Diet or regular?
Hopefully it's regular. I don't do diet anything. I don't even do Coke Zero. If I have to, I'll do a Coke Zero, but I will not voluntarily say
Coke
no.
Zero is better than diet.
It is absolutely. It is absolutely. I don't care what Spanky says. I've never seen
Diet Coke hanging out with her.
If you walk into Pookie's house, you're going to see like a big stash of MREs and stuff. You walk into Spanky's house, she has she can't park in the garage because it's full of cases and cases of Diet Coke. That's just the way it is.
See, no, that Dr. Pepper strawberry does not make no sense to me. I'll drink cherry.
Not strawberry. Not strawberry.
But strawberry, no, that sounds gross as hell to me. But
it might be pretty good, but it's not the same. They should probably call that something different.
Well, it's like they got that milk in Japan, the milk Coke, milk Pepsi.
Like when I was growing up, we would do we'd call them like brown cows or black cows or something.
You got brown cows, and then you got root beer float. It's like a root beer float with or
without the ice cream. It's just got cream or something in it.
Vanilla ice cream and some orange soda is shit. That's all I gotta say. But no, I mean, in Japan they take milk and mix it with Pepsi, and apparently it's really freaking good.
It probably tastes pretty dang good, because I mean, a Coke float is the same damn thing. Just minus the ice cream. It's just you just put cream in there. I used to do Pepsi and chocolate milk. That tastes pretty okay. That it doesn't suck. It's like a chocolate Pepsi.
That's Texas real beer. Shiner Bock, Ziebenbock. I mean, Pabst isn't really a Texas thing, but that's the first time I really experienced Pabst anywhere. It was like Texas, like that's pretty much
PBR kind of turned into a hipster beer, didn't it?
Yeah, it became everywhere. I mean, Yuengling is my all-time favorite go-to beer. But yeah, like Shiner Bock, Ziebenbock, I mean, that's the only two that I could think of Texas, like actual legit Texas beers being a short time that I lived in Texas as an adult.
Yeah. And it's a time that will live with you forever. Yeah, even
used to be PBR was like the cheap shit. You'd go buy a case of it.
That's what my dad used to. That's what my dad used to drink. I used to have a neighbor that had a soda machine in his garage, and he filled it with PBR. You know, you put in a quarter, and you know the door opens, and you can grab a. He stacked that thing full of nothing but PBR.
There you go.
I just thought it was nasty. That equates to like Miller High Life type stuff.
It's like Bush. People drink Bush. Like
my platoon sergeant did. I think he was big on Bush and what is the other one? Natty Lights.
Oh
yeah. I think he secretly drank whatever his preferred beer was, but he bought all that Natty Light just because it was damn cheap.
Yeah, if you got a bunch of people over, you don't buy the good beer.
You don't buy the good beer. There was a beer when I was at where was it, Campbell? That came out. This might have been like a Miller brewing thing, but it was a beer called Calder's 29, and I thought that was really good. I chose that over like Miller Lite or Budweiser or whatever, just because it tasted good. And then it just disappeared all of a sudden, and you couldn't get it anymore. Oh, Milwaukee's Best. That's a good budget beer. That's a college student super budget beer.
Remember the name of it? It was so super cheap. It was like I'm talking about like $5 for a 35 pack, man, or 32 pack. Like it's that cheap. It tastes. You better have drinking antifreeze.
It's not that gray can that says beer in black letters on it, like generic.
No, it had some weird German name on the side of it. It was real popular in Pennsylvania for the hardcore alcoholics.
God. I guess since we're on the, let me talk about. We got two guests coming up. I'm going to get this out of the way, and then we'll cover it again at the end of the show. But you see, on Monday, for the Monday edition, we do have shows 6 nights a week. So on the Monday edition, we got Carl Whalen from Back the Heroes Rumble is going to be back. He's an Army veteran, and he's the founder of Back the Heroes Rumble, which is a 501c3. They do all of these things for veterans. They honor veterans. They buy equipment for first responders, trauma kits and whatnot. So their mission has always been the same every time that he's been on, but the method in which they support our first responders and our veterans changes. So he's going to be on to catch everybody up on that, and that's going to happen on Monday. And then on Tuesday, we're going to have Sean Kanan. He's an actor, a producer, and an author, best known for his role as Mike Burns in Karate Kid. Yeah, he's going to be on with Pop Culture Warrior on Tuesday. So tune in. Yeah, we got a show 6 nights a week. Monday is the Monday edition. Tuesday is Pop Culture Warrior. Wednesday is The Smoke Pit with Radar and TZ, a new show. Thursday is Sergeant's Time. Friday is Friday Night Freedom. Saturday is our Danza, our day off, and Sunday is another one of our new shows with the actual King. Is it the real or the actual?
The actual
King Smith, and the coach is going to be there. What's up, Musa? Thank you for joining us. Leinenkugels. My dad used to drink Leinenkugels.
There's a beer up where there used to be a brewery where I grew up as a kid, but it went out of business before I was probably 10. But the old Pop Top beers, it was called Hershey the Curve or Horseshoe beer, because where I lived there was a real big railroad thing called the Horseshoe Curve, and everything was about the curve on, but
okay. That's all new information for me.
Actually the Horseshoe Curve is links pretty much everything from the East Coast, Pittsburgh area, It's like the midpoint, and it's a pretty big railroad thing. If a lot of people who are into railroads and stuff know about it.
No, railroads in that part of the country aren't doing so well right now.
No, they're not. Thank you, Norfolk Southern, for screwing everything up.
It's like everybody is nervous as shit. I mean, even today, I was driving through town, and there's a train crossing, and the arms go down. And no one's parking right up next to the gate anymore. They're a couple of good car links. I mean, there's the line, and then there's the gate, and then there's the track. So people are supposed to stop at the line. Normally, people stop at the gate. They won't go past the gate. But now they're like 2 or 3 car links behind the line.
Yes.
I don't blame them at all, dude. I don't blame them at all.
Now y'all learning your lessons. This is like
yeah. So we were talking about food and things and stuff. Well, we got Easter coming right around the corner, and just in time for. I don't want to talk about this yet because I started the show with Winnie the freaking Pooh / Xi Jinping on the intro. And I did want to talk about that first because I think and I thought that this little memo that you posted in our chat, I thought it was fake. I'm like that's got to be fake. It sounds really cool. I wish someone would say something like that.
No.
And it ends up that it was absolutely 100% true. This is a very factual. This is a memo from the United States Senate office. From Josh Hawley to President Xi, the newly reelected for 5 fucking years president of China. He said today, the U.S. House of Representatives followed the Senate in unanimously adopting my bill to declassify U.S. government intelligence on the origins of the COVID virus. I know you are keenly interested in the bill. Your own communist officials have written to my office demanding that we renounce it in their usual lecturing, idiotic style. But the bill will soon be law, unless you can convince President Biden to veto it. Time is up. Come clean about your role in spreading COVID to the world. Very sincerely yours, Josh Hawley, United States Senator. I think that if you are a resident of Missouri, you ought to be extremely proud of this guy. That is awesome.
He's on the Homeland Security Committee too, which is even funnier.
But he was like, they were interviewing him, and he was saying that he got his office got lots and lots of phone calls from people interested, from Chinese folks, I guess. I mean, they're just telling them, just kind of reading the same old lines, and then telling him
Don't trust China asshole.
China's asshole. I need to make a damn like a bumper out of that or something. But
West Taiwan, you mean? Oh.
So yeah, these West Taiwan people were calling Josh Hawley's office, getting him to rescind that memo or back down off of the declassification of the information regarding the spicy flu. So yeah, that's awesome, and that's freaking newsworthy, and I think it's great, and I think if anybody is in Missouri, you ought to be extremely proud of your senator. That's pretty awesome. So back to food. We're going to talk about food here a little bit. I got something on my computer screen that's bugging the shit out of me. It's like a piece of dust landed there, and it distorts the letters, and I don't like that.
You got yourself a dead pixel.
No. It was these are brand new monitors, man. This is on the outside. Oh, dude, I finally got my phone. Finally got my phone.
Update on the phone.
Holy crap, dude! I had to travel. It's like they ought to give me an additional discount because I had to travel from South. I left from work, and it took me an hour to go roughly 18 miles just because going through the center of the city at the end of the day sucks because traffic sucks. Everything's under construction. And so I ended up going from Arlington, which is where I work, and into downtown Fort Worth. It's just north of downtown Fort Worth, almost to the north side. So I got off at a road called Northside Drive, take a left. There's this really stupid, does nobody any good traffic circle. Couldn't see, I had the address, but the GPS cut out, no signal. I'm like, crap. So I went to a gas station. This is all the shady parts of town, industrial areas. And I got the phone. I ended up, I went to the UPS place and waited, of course, because, nothing ever happens very fast at a UPS office. So I finally got it. Jesus. So I was very patient. I didn't try to set it up or anything. I waited till the next day. I set everything up, took the SIM card out of my old phone, put it in the new phone. I had an S9. I got an S23 Ultra, and everything worked great. I was reading through all the instructions on how to activate it and stuff, and I was, and it says, hey, here is a QR code that you're going to scan, but ... call a representative before you do this. So I did. T-Mobile's really, really good with customer service. They don't, you don't spend a whole lot of time on hold. Every region, it's not even regional, it's municipalities. I mean, everybody has their own group of representatives. So, you might have, several thousand people being serviced are being serviced by a couple of people. They're very dedicated. They're awesome. And they have a really good military discount if anybody's interested in T-Mobile. But yeah, here. No, you can't see it. There it is. There it is. Big ass. It's huge, dude. That's my only complaint about this phone is it's huge. Here's the, I got to get out of your picture, your frame. But here's the phone, and here's my hand. It's as big as my hand. And it weighs, I weighed it before the show, with the case, 11.9 ounces. It's as heavy as a beer. So I don't keep it in my pocket or nothing like that. I just kind of carry it. I got it. I'm going to get a different case. I thought that I would like this case, but I don't. It's a cool case, and it charges through the case, so that's pretty cool. It's one of those RFID shielding whatevers, and I got my my cards and shit in there. But I'm thinking if ever I'm out and about and someone says give me your phone or whatever, I don't want to give them my phone and my driver's license and my credit cards and shit. So I'm gonna get away from.
Eric says iPhone or bust.
I've done iPhone. I've done iPhone before. I really don't care. I don't really have a personal preference. The only bitch I have against iPhone is the fact that the music that you everything has to go through Apple Music. You can't load up an MP3. It gets converted to that AAI or AAR or whatever their
AAC,
format is.
Yeah.
They just kind of hijack your music.
Did you hear about the new Apple coming out? They had to change their charging port to the USB-C.
Correct.
Because of the European Union being like, hey, we were trying to make everything green waste, e-waste kind of stuff. They so shiesty Apple is that they freaking made specific USB-C cables that you have to purchase in order to charge your phone. You can charge it with a regular USB-C, but you ain't gonna get the fast charge. You go get the slow charge.
Yeah, and the thing is with this thing, it's powerful, dude. I had this. I took it to work Monday. I charged it, of course, Sunday night. I took it off the charger when I left for work in the morning, and then I didn't put it back on the charger, but not because I had to. This thing was so awesome it's a brand new phone, so it's going to be pretty solid. But I had it off the charger and using it with the Bluetooth and the Wi-Fi on for 3 days, and it only got down to like 72%.
Holy shit, that's pretty dope, man.
But this has got a 5,000 milliamp hour battery. You can charge another phone with this phone. It's just
I could do that with mine. I think I got like a 48 or 45 or something. I mean, it charges pretty quick, but I mean, with all my apps running in the background, all the stupid crap I do on my phone, I'll burn that battery up so quick.
Yeah, it's a cool phone. It's got a stylus. I've never had a phone with a stylus in it, so I'm kind of getting used to that. Learning how to actually forgetting all the time that I've got it, rather than getting smudges and fingerprints and stuff on the screen. You got a little stylus on it.
So you can hit that freaking microscopic X to get out of the ad.
That's what it's for. Musa, absolutely, I accept DMs. Send it to Kaz. You can send it to the radio page. I'll be happy to talk with you. I would take a Nokia with a snake over an iPhone.
I tell you what, the human species will be extinct, and aliens will come down here and be studying our Nokia brick phones because
they still work. They still work. They will still power up.
I plugged it up and powered up. The network, however, that it was designed for does not exist anymore.
Yeah, I don't even know what the wavelength on that is. It's the same.
It's like 2.4.
It's not digital. Yeah. It's not digital. It's an analog network.
All analog,
but I think if this is crazy, I'm going to keep this. This is probably going to be in my pocket for 5 years, and
I run my phones until I know the battery is about to kick in. And the last one I had was, what was it? The Samsung S6 Active. Awesome phone, indestructible, awesome phone until I shattered the camera on it. And I still rocked it. for another 2 years. But then I got the 10, and I've been rocking the 10 since it came out. So I don't know when the 10, you're up to what, 23 now? So
this has
been
23, yeah. It's been 5. Well, I've got I traded in an S9 for the 23. So, and it was 5. The manufacture date on the S9 was 5 years ago. So I've had it for 5 years. And the thing is, when I kept the original box. I got all the original packaging from when the phone came. So I cleaned the phone. I took the screen protector off. I wiped it twice.
Put it in a box and set it back. You're getting paid for it, though, right?
I'm getting paid. They're giving me $800 for it.
That's decent.
That's awesome. Decent. I don't think I spent like $900 for that phone.
Well, the phone recycle joints you see at the mall and stuff like that, those are legit. Sometimes if you've got like my S6, I'll hold on to my phones because I'm a freaking hoarder. But because I like old tech, and especially like my S6, I still keep it charged up just in case my phone dies and I want to listen to Spotify on a Wi-Fi. It's just like Bluetooth, boom, I'll go at it. But
Mike Braithwaite says I still have my Motorola bag somewhere. Motorola bag phone.
My mom had one of those. I remember she used to travel with it. It was freaking massive.
What is the phone brand name? My phone brand name is the Samsung Galaxy. Is it a Galaxy S23 Ultra?
He said. I'll read the comments. I really think iPhone is like a fanboy kind of thing. I really do. I hate the term fanboy with a passion, but it's like,
well, you get your iPhone fans. I mean, they're phones. They're phones.
I mean, like CQ was showing me some of the cool stuff he could do on his iPhone. He's like he's an iPhone guy. I was like, man, I wish I could do some of that stuff. That's awesome. That's awesome. But I'm not picking an iPhone up because I don't like their business practices. I really don't like Apple's business practices. Their computers, on the other hand, I do like their computers.
See, I'm not used to it. My kids love Mac, and they love the Mac. Gotta have a Mac. But then they go and they start jobs, and their jobs use everything that is PC based.
Windows.
Yeah, it's all Windows based.
It's like, okay, you guys, a very powerful operating system. Windows, Mac OS is a very powerful operating system. Most of the people that are using it's like buying a Ferrari and driving 15 miles an hour.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty much like most of the people who have Apple computers.
It's PCs. like me buying this phone. The reason I bought this fucking phone is because I got a damn good deal on my trade-in. I would not spend $1,200 on a phone.
No,
Yeah, So, but I'm going to spend that much money on another model or whatever. So here we go. I'm going to give it a shot. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. So we were talking about snacks. I don't want to get off of that.
Snacks.
because we kind of started with talk about food, and then we got off track with beer and stuff. But so this is just in time for Easter. The Hershey's Company has announced this week that it's going to roll out these Reese's plant-based peanut butter cups and Hershey's plant-based extra creamy with almonds and sea salt.
Please stop. Please. Just stop. I'm done with it. Is it chocolate plant-based? Oh, the milk. It's the milk in it. Okay, the milk chocolate. So you're going to what? Get some soy, milk, and almond. Stop it. Just stop it. Just
Go ahead. Go ahead with your rant.
No, I'm just telling people stop. We're done with it.
Instead of milk, the new offerings are made with oats. The brand manager of the company's Better For You division said its purpose is to create more moments of goodness for consumers. Those moments are now more accessible for chocolate lovers looking for plant-based alternatives. Okay, I can follow this. I can support this. I'm not going to...
Nope.
I mean, not for me, but I understand. In an effort to meet the evolving desires of customers, Hershey's has served up alternative treats including no added sugar, zero sugar, high protein, and protein-controlled options. Reese's plant-based peanut butter cups will go on sale this month, followed by Hershey's plant-based extra creamy with almonds and sea salt in April. The company is also selling its popular Hershey's She Bar for the third consecutive year in honor of Women's History Month. I did not know that they did this until today or yesterday when I pulled the story.
Yeah, my grandfather heard about that, and I was trying to explain it to him, but it's kind of like the old guy, the old cowboy in the room, and not understanding why people are driving cars.
So here's the She Bar. I've never seen this. I've never seen it.
No.
I've never seen it. Have you seen it? Have you seen? I've never seen that.
They did it. I think they did it last year, or like Skittles during the rainbow month. They take all the colors off the rainbow and make it all white because in support of
for what, the gay history or gay pride month or whatever.
Pride month, yeah, or
Okay.
whatever month that is. Oh, heartburn. Sorry.
So, to caveat off myself, this is, for International Women's Day, which was just a couple of days ago, 2 days ago, Jill Biden and Anthony Blinken honored quote-unquote extraordinary women at a ceremony in the White House. One of the recipients of the honor is Alba Rueda. That's pretty cool how they honor people. They had 11 people on that stage, and they paid specific attention to Alba Rueda because Alba got an award for Extraordinary Woman of the Year because he's a biological male from Argentina. Following the award, columnist and radio personality Derek Hunter said, quote, "Apparently men are a lot better at being women than women are. Step up your game, ladies," end quote.
That's rough.
Yeah. That was weird. I watched that and I'm just like, is that a dude? And sure enough, there's a guy up there getting an award for the International Woman of the Year. Crazy.
I don't want to get into that.
Neither do I. It's just newsworthy.
I'm gonna just step. It's newsworthy, yes, but I'm gonna step back from my personal beliefs on that and just let it roll, I guess.
You acknowledge it, you mention it maybe, and then you just kind of move on.
Yeah, that's it.
Musa says that he's seen those Hershey's the.
Yeah, they do it. It's like
I'll have to pay attention. I'll have to pay attention. I mean, this is Women's History Month, so they're probably still in the stores.
Look, my favorite Reese's thing that comes out is the eggs for Easter.
The Cadbury eggs? No, I like the ones that are
Pieces
Reese's,
eggs. Like
Reese's
Reese's
eggs. My favorite is really, really good. It's got a hard shell on it, but the inside is like a Whopper. And it's chocolate coated, and it's just one of the most delicious things I've ever had. I will buy an obscene amount of those things. They're just called Easter eggs. There's a little bag of Easter eggs. There's probably 100 or 200 in there.
Oh, I know what you're talking about now. My brain's working. I was like trying to think. I was like, okay, yeah, I've had those before. Yeah,
those are good. I mean, even my daughter, when she lived here, she likes those too. So I'd like double up on the hundreds of bags that I'd buy. Not hundreds, but the many bags that I'd buy. I send my kid. My kids are grown ass fucking women. But I still send them. I still send them Easter boxes. I send them Valentine's Day presents, Christmas presents. And it's just every. I'm going to send them an Easter basket.
Awesome.
I'll take a box. I'm going to go get a cardboard box, and inside the cardboard box, I put that Easter grass in there.
Oh, that green
yeah, the little grass. Well, they got all kinds of colors now, but I'll fill that thing with candy, and I'll put gift cards and just kind of some cool stuff in there, box it up, and send it to them. Man, it's fun. I hope they like it.
Yeah, my family used to do that real big, kind of for us as kids. But we'd always get a movie or something on VHS.
Oh, there you go.
VHS. A bunch of candy, a VHS movie, and sit there and burn it up over a week and then forget about it.
Right, and it just sits on the shelf, and then 10 years later you go, oh, let's watch this. Oh, you know how we were talking about like trading your phone in, getting credit, and this, that, and the other?
Yeah.
I just found this out yesterday that freaking Nikon is doing that with cameras. Like cameras.
Smart.
That is pretty smart, isn't it?
I like the whole trade up kind of program that a lot of these companies are coming, because they could take that. There's materials in there that they could recycle, reuse, and upgrade the material at that point. But Nikon trade up. I mean, oh God, I would kill for a good Nikon.
So I looked at the price point on this. Well, let me tell a story, and then I'll talk about the price point. Nikon's trade-in program lets consumers send in their old cameras and lenses for a credit that can be applied for the purchase of a new camera or lens. This is a win for the environment and for photographers who want to save money. How does this program work? Well, you trade up to this Z series. Nikon lets you trade in any working camera or lens for a select Z series camera or lens. First, contact Nikon to get a quote for your trade-in. Then you purchase an eligible Z-Series camera. Their price point on these are top of the line was like $5,600 or $5,700, all the way down to like $360 or whatever. I mean, and these are all decent looking cameras.
Not the top of the line cameras there, man.
They're good. I mean, I've got a DSLR. It's a Nikon DSLR something 3000 or whatever. I love that camera. It's pretty cool. But a lot of these cameras that they make now are geared towards streamers, because we use our cameras here, but a lot of streamers use a DSLR to do their streaming, because the resolution and the frames per second is pretty good. I think Elgato's got everybody beat with the 60 frames per second cameras and the 4K cameras, which you can see CQ use on Tuesday.
I missed the show Tuesday. I was tied up on doing something, but I saw him. He was testing it, and I was like, wow.
I was online with him, doing the video thing on Twitch, and I could see just me sitting here looking at Twitch. You can see his hair grow out of his face. That's how fine it is. It's crisp. It's really, really good. I think it would have been a much better picture if it was well lit and things like that. But yeah, it's a fantastic camera.
I just bought the it was the face cam, but then they came out with a new face cam. I'm like, well, I feel like spending $300 an upgrade. No, mine's fine for now. It's better than what I was running a year ago.
every time I get the urge to buy something new, I'm like, I'm happy with what I've got. It works. I'm going to stay here. And that's what I did, as far as my phone goes. And my old computer. I bought my old computer. My old computer that I used to broadcast on was like a $260 computer. I bought it from a surplus online. It showed up in a box with newspapers packed around it. And, and it worked. It worked for a while. It worked until it didn't. It still works. It's a good computer. But, it was time to upgrade, because everyone knows that we've had absolutely no issues with my new computer, right? So anyway, back to the Nikon thing. You have to purchase an eligible Z series camera. We talked about the price points on those. Next, you'll need to send Nikon your old camera or lens, and it will cover all the shipping costs. The company will issue a refund equal to your trade-in value. So if you're interested in something like this, go to NikonUSA.com and look up the Z series. It's a mirrorless camera. It doesn't have a mirror in it. It's all software. It's all electronics. Mine at least has mirrors in it and a MOSFET which captures the image.
I like film. Like
the
OG film.
The old Canon cameras.
Some of the best pictures I've ever taken with my life were with the disposable.
There was a trend, and I don't know if this is even a hipster trend, because my daughters got into it years and years ago. But they actually had those Instamatics where you go, you take a picture, click, and it spits out the picture.
Polaroids.
Yeah, the old Polaroids. That's it.
Yeah,
and those take really good. I mean, they're not. Pictures. You're not going to be on the cover of Time. You're not going to be on the cover of Time with that. But
that's an expensive film medium. You get like 30 for like $80. I think is what they run.
Really?
It's insane. Yeah. The film is extremely expensive for that. Huh?
That explains why she doesn't use it anymore.
Yeah, it's not cheap. Like a lot of people buy it, like, they bought it for like Christmas or whatever it is. It comes with 2 packs of film.
It's like, look what Santa brought me.
Then you go and burn the film up, and then you go to the store to see what the film actually costs. You're like, oh well, it's self-developing film. That's just what it is. It was cool when I was growing up as a kid, because you could buy them for like what, $1 for like 10 or whatever.
Yeah.
snap.
And then your money's gone.
Yeah, well.
So anyway, I thought that was pretty cool.
No, that's dope. I'm glad to see companies adopting something like that. It's a good way to recycle. Get instead of old crap winding up sitting around, get it recycled, repurposed.
Yeah, the article was big on the environmental impact with the plastics and the plastics/chemicals that go into the making of the electronics inside of it. They talked about the glass. And they named all kinds of chemicals that are made, that are used in the production of these, and they're just like we don't do that anymore. We're going to get these off the grid, and this is what we offer now. And these are comparable cameras. They're just made differently.
Well, the glass thing, I've heard people say we need to switch from plastic, go back to glass. It's like that's not feasible anymore, because there's actually like silicate sand. Mm-hmm. It's actually like becoming really hard to find. You can't just go out in the desert, the Mojave Desert or the Sahara Desert, and start pulling sand, because that's not the right kind of sand.
Sand isn't sand.
Yeah, not all sand is the right sand to make glass.
The right sand, the correct sand. It has to be nuked in a.
Also, the coolest thing I ever seen was going. I think it was in Williamsburg. Where was it? I can't remember, but the glass blowing, where they would make the.
Oh yeah, that's cool. Yeah. So we were talking about the Nikon camera, and what a better segue to go from talking about cameras to talking about Ouija boards.
Oh dear Lord!
You're out. Have you ever dicked with a Ouija board?
Yeah, it's a joke, but still, I mean, those things freak me out, man. It freaks me out.
There's too many movies out there with Ouija boards in it where I would dick around with them when I was a kid. Me and like the whoever was babysitting us, me and my brothers would get in there in a dark room and play with it. But I've seen too many movies where I'm like, oh, maybe there's something to this thing. Maybe we got to get Minx back on the air. Maybe she can shed a little bit of light on these things.
I mean, I'll do tarot cards. Tarot cards and stuff like that don't bother me. Ouija boards freak me out. Did you see a video floating around maybe a year or two ago where I guess it was his younger sister was having like a sleepover with a bunch of her friends?
Yes, I think I know where you're going. Go ahead with the story.
They're playing with the Ouija board, and he goes down to the breaker box and starts flicking a light.
Yes, that is awesome.
And you can hear him in the background going, "Ah!"
They're screaming and running out of the room. That is perfect. That is perfect. I would do that. Definitely do that. But this story comes from Colombia, South America. Nearly 30 schoolgirls have been hospitalized with anxiety attacks after playing with Ouija boards at their school in Colombia. There were 28 possible cases of anxiety in these school students where the incident took place. According to the news outlet, alarm bells went off after these girls reportedly suffered signs of fainting, anxiety, and other symptoms at school. They were subsequently admitted to a municipal hospital accompanied by their parents and school faculty. Info on the students' diagnoses is yet to be released. However, many parents blame the in-school use of Ouija boards.
This is Colombia, right?
Yes, Colombia.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Very Catholic, religious,
fanatical.
fanatical.
Yeah, very much.
Gotcha.
So there's a little bit of history. The Ouija board was created in the United States in 1886. Ouija boards have become a fixture of the occult lore due to their ability to communicate with the dead.
I ain't moving it. No, you're moving it. No, I'm not moving it. You're moving it.
Yeah, I just watched Ouija board 2 or whatever that movie is.
I can't.
I love horror movies.
Ooh, the last horror movie I watched was Llamageddon. It was an awesome movie.
Was it good? Yeah, I remember you said that. You mentioned that. I haven't watched that.
Great B. I won't even.
Is it B?
Is there a class lower than B movie? Like C?
Like C, maybe? That's a question.
High school film. That's like it was so awesome. It was so bad that it was so awesome. I love horrible, bad movies like that.
Beto Umberto said, I used one when I was about 12, and that shit was crazy. Either I hallucinated everything, but that shit worked. And Holly said, so wait, the Catholic girls were practicing witchcraft? It's a great time to be alive.
Right? Was there a Catholic school and they had a Ouija board? What the?
Well, I'm going to imagine that most schools down there have, they're religious in some way, shape, or form. That whole country is religious. Minus the cocaine thing, but you know.
Cocaine is a hell of a drug.
So speaking about communicating with the dead, I guess we have our zombie story of the evening. While a pandemic unleashed by a disease from a distant past sounds like a plot of a sci-fi movie, scientists warn that there are risks, though low, and they're underappreciated. Chemical and radioactive waste that dates back to the Cold War, which has the potential to harm wildlife and disrupt ecosystems, may also be released during these thaws. There's a lot going on with the permafrost in the world, and that is a concern. Permafrost covers a fifth of the northern hemisphere, and it serves as a kind of time capsule, preserving, in addition to ancient viruses, the mummified remains of a number of extinct animals, and scientists have been able to unearth and study all of these in recent years, including 2 cave lion cubs and a woolly rhino. The reason permafrost is a good storage medium isn't because that it's cold, but it's an oxygen-free environment, and light doesn't penetrate it. So everything that is in it, it's very, very well preserved. But current-day Arctic temperatures are warming, weakening the top layer of the permafrost in the region. To better understand the risks posed by the frozen viruses, Jean-Michel Clavier tests Earth samples taken from Siberian permafrost to see whether any viral particles contained are still infectious. So he's out there hunting for diseases in the permafrost. He's
did we like make a bunch of movies about this shit? No?
Yeah. So he's Jurassic Park. Well, that's kind of a cloning. That's a cloning movie.
Yeah, but you
just don't dick with it.
Fuck around and find out, man. Let's do it. That's what scientists do. Hey, this looks cool. Let's fuck around until we fuck up.
Hey, look, a disease. Let's play with it. So he is in search for what is described as a zombie virus. And he has found some over the years. His efforts to detect viruses frozen in permafrost were partly inspired by a team of Russian scientists who in 2012 revived a wildflower from a 30,000-year-old seed that was found in a squirrel's burrow. Since then, scientists have also successfully brought ancient microscopic animals back to life. In 2014, he managed to revive a virus he and his team isolated from the permafrost, making it infectious for the first time in 30,000 years by inserting it into cultured cells.
Why?
But he said that he was safe when he did it. He said, I guess it. I mean, why would you go to the moon? Because you can.
Okay. Yeah.
This is fucking with you a little bit.
No, I can't.
He was safe about it because, according in his words, he says
he wore a mask.
He said that he only used a virus that only attacks a single cell organism. But the thing is, how would you know that until after you've dicked with it for a little bit and brought it back to life? So he repeated this feat in 2015, isolating a different virus that also targeted amoebas. And in his latest research published in February of this year in the Journal of Viruses, Clavier and his team isolated several strains of the ancient virus from multiple samples of permafrost taken from seven different places across Siberia and showed that they could each infect cultured amoeba cells. A lung sample from a woman's body exhumed in 1997 from permafrost in a village on the Seward Peninsula in Alaska contained genomic material from the influenza strain responsible for the 1918 pandemic that killed lots and lots of people.
Stop it.
In 2012, scientists confirmed that a 300-year-old mummified remains of a woman buried in Siberia contained the genetic signatures of the virus known as smallpox. I mean, you want to screw up doctors just going, man, we haven't seen this in 300 years.
No, dear Lord, 5,000-year-old. I was just supposed to bring the plague back while we're at it. Why?
An anthrax outbreak in Siberia that affected dozens of humans and more than 2,000 reindeer between July and August of 2016 has been linked to the deeper thawing of the permafrost during the hot summers, allowing old spores of Bacillus anthracis to resurface from old burial grounds and animal carcasses. They just start living again once they're thawed out. They just start living again. Tardigrades,
well, however you pronounce it.
Those things are vicious looking under the microscope, man.
But they are the most indestructible life form in the universe that we know of. They can live in a vacuum of space for all we know. So I mean, geez. But I mean, let's bring back some old. I mean, the anthrax thing, that makes sense. There's wild anthrax all over the place. It's like why you go overseas to get your anthrax shots, because you could just be like kicking dirt. Next thing you know, you got anthrax. But I mean, there's an island in Scotland or Ireland somewhere that people can't set foot on. There's just wild sheep running around all because they tested anthrax on that island. You can't go to it anymore.
I like islands, and the thing is, with islands, that's one of the things I'd get no boat, and if I could see it, I'd try to get there.
That North Sentinelese.
So what were you talking about? Oh, the Terragard can survive in survive in like high sulfur environments, deep in the earth, high temperature,
super cold temperature. They could be frozen and live like they could be like this crap in the permafrost, be frozen. They go into a stasis. 10,000 years, boom, they're awake. It's like back to doing what they're doing again. They need very little water to survive.
I mean, there's a lot of movies like this. The Alien was kind of like that. The Thing was like that.
Oh, the Thing. Which one? Which thing?
The Thing one.
Which one?
Which one?
Because you had the OG The Thing.
The OG The Thing. That was one of the first horror movies that I saw, and I was like,
because you got that, then you got, I think John Carpenter did The Thing again, which was my favorite. And then you had the new The Thing that came out, and I was like, that sucked. You know, so I mean, my favorite. I remember seeing the OG like 1950s, 60s.
Yeah, it was black and white.
Black and white. Yeah, that was, to me as a kid, I was like, oh,
good for the time.
Then I saw the John Carpenter's The Thing, and I was like, oh my god, it's fucking terrifying.
It is, and it doesn't have to be factually true, but it's just there's enough facts in there to make you go, maybe it's possible.
Mm-hmm. Life will find a way.
Which is a scary statement. But this brings me to our next story. I think, it's after 8 o'clock, but I'm going to do it anyway. You were talking about surviving in space.
Oh, yes.
So there are some smart kids that did some things.
Yes.
I think this was. Yes. I think this is your story that you brought in.
I thought it was quite amazing that some young kids would be able to figure this, just like, fuck around, find out the good way.
The good way, exactly. So a group of elementary school students in Canada made a groundbreaking discovery while working on a school project. EpiPens may not work in space. EpiPens, the auto-injectors that deliver life-saving epinephrine during a severe allergic reaction, which is a lifeline for so many people with allergies, might become ineffective or even poisonous when in space, the students found. Epinephrine, also called adrenaline, opens up airways, reduces swelling and itching, and helps maintain heart function and blood pressure, effectively reversing the effects of anaphylactic shock. The 9 to 12-year-old kids, 9 to 12, can I say that again? 9 to 12-year-old kids were at the St. Brother Andre Elementary School program for gifted learners, were curious about how cosmic radiation would affect the molecular structure of epinephrine. As part of NASA's initiative called Cubes in Space, which launches science experiments conceived by students, they launched samples of both pure epinephrine and EpiPen solutions, 1 dose of epinephrine in a sterile solution. They sent these samples on a high-altitude balloon and on a rocket. The samples were analyzed in a lab at the University of Ottawa before and after returning to Earth. The team found, this is really, really interesting. The team found that the pure epinephrine samples returned only to be 87% pure. The other 13% had turned into poisonous benzoic acid derivatives, and no epinephrine was found in the EpiPen solutions. So they sent up an EpiPen with this epinephrine solution in it, and it came back and it contained absolutely no epinephrine. That is horrifying.
That's how you science, though.
But that is how you science.
Digging around and trying to resurrect the dead is necromancy.
Yeah, it is.
Freaking necromancy. Witchcraft.
It's the devil. The students' findings.
What's the devil?
The students' findings could have real-world implications for space travel and the safety of astronauts. The kids already are anticipating the colonization of Mars and are thinking about how settlers there might need epinephrine for their health. You never know. Let's say you're with an expeditionary group. You land on Mars. You're having a good day, and then something happens, and you're having an allergic reaction to something.
Epinephrine works for more than just allergy shit, though. I mean, there's like multiple uses for it, but.
So there's a use for this, and like on Earth, you would use it, and you stick it in your buddy to save his life, and it ends up killing him because it turns into benzoic acid derivative, and you just killed your buddy.
That's terrifying, though. That is kind of terrifying if you think about it. No?
Holly says, I trust the mountain witches more than the scientists.
You know what's funny is these kids have like such a positive scientific outlook. Like when humanity colonizes Mars, like they really believe that we're gonna get off this rock before we destroy ourselves.
It might happen. It might happen. Oh, I'm sure you've seen you do TikTok. There's the TikTok time travelers. You've ever run into some of their videos?
No.
I mean, people are like, my name is Brandon, and I'm a time traveler from 2535 or whatever.
Yeah, but I see that and I scroll past it because like, fuck you.
I mean, it's like, yeah, whatever. You can't prove it, and we can't disprove it, so we're kind of at an impasse.
Wasting my time. Show me big booty Latina.
So we are going to take a break. This has been a great first half. Thank you all for hanging out. We're going to come back in about 7 minutes, and we're going to talk about more things. We're going to talk about the drug cartels in Mexico. We're going to talk about the kidnappings that happened down there, and our politician, our political leadership's proposed response to this. Shit, man, just kids acting like assholes. Let me see, Reddit. Oh my God, I got Reddit stuff. I'll talk about the Cop City thing. We'll talk about that for a little bit.
If we run out of time, we got stuff.
We got lots of stuff going, and I know that everyone's probably got to get up and use the bathroom, maybe refill their beverage, and we are going to be back in just a couple of minutes. I would appreciate it. We would appreciate it if you would hang out with us for just another segment. All right, this is WTF Nation Radio. My name is Kaz, and that is Pookie, and we'll be back in 7 minutes.
WTF Nation Radio. WTF Nation Radio.
WTF Nation Radio. WTF Nation Radio.
Fucker, I did it again. I did it again. I did forget. I was so excited to come back. I forgot to hit the unmute.
Unmute button.
Yeah, we were talking about Pookie in the bubble of shame, in the bubble of indecision, in the bubble of
abuse. It's the abuse bubble.
The abuse bubble. It's not like you're in the. Go to your room and think about what you did.
Haven't heard that in a long time.
Right? It's been you were like 12, wasn't it?
No, my mom would kick me outside the house. She'd like,
go outside and play. Go kill some squirrels.
Ride your bike around with no helmet and joust with sharp sticks on your bike, you know.
Just dude, we had, my parents would kick us out of the house, me and my brothers, and we'd go and we'd have like dirt clod fights with the fucking neighbor kids.
It's like
come back patties. Bleeding.
Cow patties make the best frisbees to flick at your friends. You know.
What was fun? We didn't have cow patties, but you know what we did have?
Crab apples.
No, we had shingles. Like roofing shingles.
Like what kind? Like
asphalt.
Asphalt. Okay. Because where I grew up, the shingles were made with
cedar,
slate. No, slate.
Oh, slate. Oh God, no. Those will kill you.
Like you have to be careful about the snow falling off the roof during the winter because you get this like shards of like
slate would come down. Oh God, that is dangerous. I mean, those asphalt shingles are nothing to dick with. I mean, you got to figure like a 4x4 square, and you're gonna throw it, zing, like a frisbee, but it doesn't have the attributes that a frisbee does. It doesn't collect it. It just goes everywhere. It's all everywhere. It might go here and then just go, no, I'm going to go for your throat. Those are nasty. Yeah,
shoot
we used
each
to
other with BB guns. I mean, I could keep going.
You can't see it, but I think I was 12 years old for Christmas. I got surgery to get a bunch of BBs removed from my hand. We were driving around shooting blackbirds. Yeah, on a tandem bike, and my buddy John, he packed the BBs down. He'd chamber a BB, but then put a bunch of other BBs down the barrel.
Yeah, I would do the same thing.
So I'm sitting here in the front seat. I'm driving the bike, and I'm pointing, and he was already pointing and ready to shoot, and he ended up shooting, and I got a handful of BBs, and I tried to hide it from my parents. I mean, because it healed-ish, but then it got infected, and my dad decided, you're not getting any Christmas presents this year. We're going to get you surgery. So I got surgery for my 12th Christmas on this earth. Yes, thank you. So speaking of shooting motherfuckers, I like all these segues. These are just these are just happening organically and awesomely. Oh, let's talk about cartels. Senators on Wednesday called for the United States to declare war on Mexican cartels, saying that the killing of 2 Americans by gangs should earn a response by the full might of the United States military. Senator Lindsey Graham and Senator John Kennedy, both Republicans, Kennedy from Louisiana and Graham is from South Carolina.
Yes, he's an asshole.
Announced legislation to declare 9 cartels. I don't have the list of the cartels that he wanted. I mean, they all kind of are the same. 9 cartels as foreign terrorist organizations and to authorize the use of military force. The same mechanism that deployed troops to Afghanistan and Iraq against the gangs there. We're going to unleash, and this is a quote. Go ahead. Please say what you want to say.
No. We should be pressuring the Mexican government, but us. Are we going to literally invade Mexico? This is what they want. Is this what they want?
I don't think that that's a good idea. You don't invade your neighbor.
Oh, dear Lord. Dear Lord.
They said, quote, "We are going to unleash the fury and the might of the United States against these cartels," said Senator Graham, who is the ranking member of the Senate Judiciary Committee. "We are going to destroy their business model and their lifestyle because our national security and the security of the United States as a whole depends on us taking decisive action." I don't disagree with him. I don't think I like his methods. Lawmakers on both sides of the aisle have sounded the alarm of the amount of fentanyl flowing from the southern border. That trade, controlled by the cartels, is fueling a record overdose death rate in the United States. Would you support something like that? Obviously not.
If we would have just secured our border and kept us securing our border like our previous administration was trying to do, border security, works. If they can't get their drugs in here, they lose their money. The war on drugs has failed anyways, miserably. I think Oklahoma just recently said no to recreational marijuana because, we don't need lazy people sitting around. But, the cartel is allowed to bring it across the border and sell it in your state. But no, I don't agree. I don't agree with that at all. And this whole story about the Americans coming down, they were all from my state. My mom, one of them, remembers them being in and out of the jailhouse she works at.
Were they ne'er-do-wells, or were they just there for tourism?
No, they were choir boys, according to the government. No. From what I'm hearing, through the grapevine, the little bird landed on my shoulder and was telling me this. The background, their backgrounds were kind of a little nefarious with drug manufacturing and distribution and child neglect. It just like weird things, that good choir boys, women choir people, I guess, they were cream of the crop.
So what I heard, and this is all hearsay, this is not fact. What I heard was these cartel members that engaged in this act against these folks thought they were like Haitian. They were like in the Haitian drug trade or whatever. So they were like, protecting their territory. I'm not defending protecting your territory in this context, but there was a whole lot of
there's questions,
not enough information. So
they went down there for a procedure, for like a tummy tuck procedure, or
they went down there for some kind of medical care. Because my boss he used to live in El Paso. He used to go down to Mexico to get dental work done all the time because it was
cheap,
damn cheap compared to getting it done in the United States, and he didn't have to use insurance. It was cheaper to go to Mexico to get this shit done. So let's talk.
I don't think they were there for that, though.
I don't know for sure, but it doesn't seem that they were there for being tourists. They weren't just tourists. Even medical tourists.
It wasn't medical tourism in my eyes, but that's just my opinion. But it's just funny that the FBI is rolling with it,
So
good old FBI.
This kidnapping happened. The kidnapping happened this last weekend. 4 Americans, 2 of whom were slain and the others were rescued. has added urgency to the demands for this letter from our, or this stance from our senators. 2 of the Americans were kidnapped at gunpoint in a Mexican border city on Friday. They have returned to the United States and are being treated at hospitals while the remains of the other 2 Americans who were killed were brought back to the United States yesterday. Latavia Washington McGee, one of the surviving Americans, is expected to come home Wednesday. She came home. They're all 4 of them are back. They were driving through and a van came up and they hit them. They collided with them. And that's when they started to shoot at the car. She said the others tried to run. Oh, next page, because I do analog. And they all got shot at the same time. They all got shot, and she watched them die. The other survivor, Eric Williams, was shot 3 times in the legs, and he was brought to a hospital in Texas to undergo surgery. This sucks, dude. It sucks to go down there, whether you're on the up and up or whatever. It just sucks as an American to go to Mexico and then shit happens like this. If that's going to happen, the thing is, if you mind your own fucking business and you're not there to do shit, it ain't shit going to happen to you.
I used to go down in that same area all the time and just walk around, and did not have anything expensive showing. Of course, you don't go walking around with a $5,000 watch, but, just, hey, look at the gringo, ha, ha, ha. I hear gringo this, gringo that. All right, cool, whatever. I'd eat some tacos, drink some cheap tequila, and then go across back home. And
I think there's a lot more to this story that's not being let out from our people, from our 4 people.
Because I was hearing something the other day. I think I posted a video. This lady was getting sources from Spanish news stations saying that, the doctor that supposedly she was going to get the tummy tuck from said there was never an appointment.
Oh, whoa.
But that's what I heard, through the grapevine.
Yeah, those border towns, the cartels do control a lot of that. And since this has all happened, the cartel in question has actually apologized for the actions of their people.
I saw the note. They dumped five of the quote unquote 5 of the assassins, they said, with a note, apologized to the families.
Yep.
This was kind of like it was like they acted without permission, and this is not our professionalism or something along. My translation was horrible. I can read Spanish, but it's very bad. It's like the dude from was it the Goonies reading the Spanish?
Oh my gosh.
Like, oh yeah, I can read it. It's not going to be good.
It's not going to be good. You don't want me to be a translator. You're going to start like World War III if Pookie was the translator.
No. Like I said, I've been around it so much, like living in Texas and stuff like that. I can hear certain words, I pick it up, and my brain can put it together. God forbid I speak it. I sound stupid as hell speaking Spanish.
Yeah,
so I understood what you called me. So I can't argue back with you.
So I'm thinking, the cartel issued an apology, and obviously these 1, 2, 3, 4 these 5 individuals have been detained, or they're arrested. They're going to go to jail. I don't think they'll make it out of jail. I think they're going to get some social justice by the cartel, by their own cartel.
Have you seen the way the jails work in northern Mexico?
No.
It's their own little cities, and it's pretty much the big bad guy is in control of everything. And if you just fall in line, it's like literally like
even if they fall in line, I think that they're doomed.
Doubt it. I don't even think those are the real guys that did it. No?
It's just these are the people that are taking the blame for it.
Yeah, I mean, here's your scapegoat. Mm-hmm. That's what it is. It's the scapegoat. The way the letter was written, they're like, they apologize. They don't want the heat because now you got the Senate, like Lindsey Graham, good old boy. Oh God, I hate that man. Now wanting to declare war on the cartel and
so let's say that they go in that route. So let's say that they get authorization or whatever. The Mexican president has already said, no, fuck no. if you go down this route, we're gonna fuck with your elections that are coming up. So I don't know. It's just everything is such a slippery slope. It's not a slippery slope. It's a Is it a slippery
6 months
slope?
ago. It's a slippery slope. 6 months ago, I predicted, with the war in Ukraine going off and popping off, that there would be some sort of weird war, proxy war pop off in Central South America, kind of like with someone like Venezuela, Colombia, something along the lines of that. I did not think it would be Mexico. But I mean, the way these proxy war things started, I mean, the Ukraine thing, we're funding that. Russia's, all up in that. Russia, Ukraine, whatever. We're giving them money. Now we're gonna have a proxy war here, and then next thing you know, Taiwan and China are gonna be at it. This is
and that's what that TikTok time traveler guy was talking about. He was like, the end of the world is gonna happen, and it was like there's gonna be like a global. What the hell did he say? Like a United States war between the North and the South again in like 2030. It's going to last 7 years. At the end of that, there's going to be a big baby boom.
Doom saying.
It was such bullshit. That was just like, you can't prove any of this. You can't prove where you came from.
Oh shit! A month ago they were talking about invading Haiti or some crap.
One of his predictions was something big is going to happen in January. Yeah, okay. Fucking Bitcoin went down to $18,000 a fucking coin. I don't know. That's pretty big.
It's like, what was it? What was this guy's name in World War I? Baron von whatever his name was. They got the bullet in the head and it's caused the whole world. It's a tinderbox, and all it's gonna take is one thing. Everyone's gonna be fist fighting. No,
and it's all
Does Mexico have oil?
Here's this hand or that hand.
Does Mexico have oil that we don't know about?
Oh, God, this just sucks, man. Because I'm thinking about how life was. Duke Ferdinand.
There you go. Thank you.
In my mind, I'm thinking Franz Ferdinand, but I'm like, that wasn't right.
Something.
Yeah.
But yeah, he caught a bullet, and then what was it? 11 million people died, probably over that, just because Austria's at war with Germany. Like, all right, let's do this.
So
Japan's talking about fighting China again.
Like, so these five guys, not the burger place, got hemmed up in Mexico. I don't think they're going to make it out of Mexico unless something happens. I don't know if they have. Is there? Mike Braithwaite in YouTube says, put him in protective custody. Does Mexico have protective custody? Yeah. I mean, I guess they do if you're El Chapo.
El Chapo had his own prison.
He had his own prison.
Like just walking around about his own business. See, we shouldn't have fucked with El Chapo. We should just left him the fuck alone. All this shit right now is because we took the big guy out. No?
He he wasn't coke. He was marijuana, right? He didn't touch the coke.
I think he fucked around with everything. But I mean, he had everything in control.
And all I'm going on is my knowledge of, because I've watched both seasons of Narcos. Okay.
Well,
that's all I know. I don't know shit.
I mean, I really don't know what he dealt in, but he was a businessman. And these guys are the new guys that are like running these smaller cartels. Some of them get a little ruthless.
Musa, you're awesome, dude. El Chapo is my dream job location.
There you go, El Chapo. But I mean, El Chapo donated all money to the.
He took care of his communities.
Yes, yeah. He was kind of like an Al Capone. I mean, if he needed to get his hands dirty, he did it. I'm not defending the man, but he was a businessman. Some of these smaller cartels has popped up since he's been arrested or whatever happened to him, and his son being snatched up. there's been like full blown.
That just happened, didn't it?
Yeah, I mean, there's videos floating around the internet. You spend a little bit of time digging around the internet, you can see people sitting on the American border, looking into a Mexican town somewhere, and hearing freaking gunfire and 40 millimeter grenades popping off and stuff like that. So I mean, there is kind of it's.
So we'll see what happens with this. Maybe this is something to distract everybody's attention from China and Russia and our
or
budget.
The FBI and January 6th.
Yeah.
Let's start a full-blown war because we got caught lying, distract the people.
Yeah. Oh, fuck. We got to bury this really quick.
Let's start a war. We got to get recruiting levels up.
Right, God.
Our army comes out with the new recruiting slogan and all this shit. Like, come on. I can't put my tinfoil hat on it.
Yeah, but look at this. But there's all these other distractions. A large group of teenagers ransacked a restaurant in Queens, New York, and the suspects are reportedly still on the loose. The suspects entered a fish village in College Point in the Queens on Saturday morning and just began tearing the damn restaurant up. Video taken from inside the restaurant shows masked teenagers flipping tables, throwing chairs, and breaking dishes. The manager said the group largely consisted of Asians, but some were Hispanic. About 30 customers were inside at the time when it happened. Estimated damage was $20,000. But this is becoming kind of the norm. Because if
all the time out in Los Angeles, San Diego, California, this is notorious. Like this was
New York. This is like these teens just came up, trashed the restaurant, and they left.
Got nothing better to do with I mean.
But check this out. Employees and this is the reason I got banned off of Twitter. Employees at Belfries on Ludlow Street were left traumatized after chaos broke out around 4 a.m. on July 22nd. A wild fray that caused extensive damage. This is exactly the moment that I fucking lost my privileges on Twitter. The chaos inside Belfries started when a number of customers became enraged and violent when they were told that there was a $1.25 charge for extra dipping sauce for their French fries. This is a restaurant. That's what they make, French fries. And they were charged extra money, like all the other customers, for extra sauce. You want extra sauce? That's extra $1, right? They wanted extra sauce, but they didn't want to pay for it. The owner said, the extra sauce is actually $1.25. They charge them cost. A co-owner described the extensive damage at the restaurant as 20 to 30 bottles broken, thrown at my employees. Computers are broken, and the store was a disaster. Everything was a mess. As the group laughs, the restaurant is torn apart while another group, the customers, watches, recording on their phones. Videos show employees cowering behind walls and whatever, trying to take cover during the attack. Nobody did anything to stop the mayhem. Following the chaos, 3 women, 25-year-old Chiatra Plasencia, 23-year-old Tatiana Johnson, and 27-year-old Pearl Osoria were arrested. All are facing multiple charges, including assault. These are grown-ass fucking women. I hope they don't. I really hope they don't get to walk on this, or like, okay, just don't do it again.
There's just one thing. If the Belfries people are listening, shut your business down and come to Myrtle Beach. We could use a cool fry place like that here because these restaurant owners don't know how to manage shit. You'll make a shit ton of money and not have to worry about your business being destroyed because of dipping sauce.
You'll make a shit ton of money, and then you'll make even more money during tourist season.
Exactly. Like, just leave New York, take your business and leave. I don't know why anyone would run like those. What do they call them? Bodegas.
Bodegas.
Yeah. like I don't know, like the New was it the New York mayor or someone was just recently talking about like take your masks off, you know, when you go in, you're not allowed to wear a mask because people are abusing this mask thing.
And like robbing places or being dickheads.
Yes, yeah. I mean, it's gotten to a point where it's like people just don't know how to act. So I mean, if you want to destroy your own community where you live, let the businesses leave. Like Portland, Oregon.
Yeah.
The Walmarts. The last 2 Walmarts are shutting down in there because people keep stealing from it. No?
That seems like a good business plan to close your fucking business. I'm
not making money at this point because everyone's shoplifting off me. So I'm just going to shut my business down and move it somewhere else. Do that.
Insurance to cover the stolen goods. Your premiums are going to go up if you have an increased insistence of, you know,
and then the police won't do nothing because they've got these like laissez-faire kind of like
they can't. They're not allowed
if
to.
If it's under $1,000. You know, like stealing is stealing.
And we talked about that in California too. Like there was like a felony is at $8.99. So if someone would steal $8.98 with, you know, worth of shit and then walk away.
Get a $50. And people are like, well, like I hear people defending this, and it's kind of like along the lines of like, well, some of these people are hungry, they're poor, I was like, these people aren't stealing cans of beans and celery from the grocery. They're going for high dollar value items like tools, Milwaukee tools, TVs, shit that you can sell at the pawn shop and pocket money. They're raiding freaking trains in LA. I don't know if you saw that. This was like a couple.
Yes, all the Amazon boxes along the train track.
They jumping train shipments and ripping through the crap, trying to find them. They weren't just they weren't looking for blankets. They were looking for TVs, watches,
big ticket items.
Yes, so they could turn around and pawn it, pocket the change,
or sell it on the down low. I mean, you get you get like a $3,000 TV. You sell it for $1,000. You're $1,000 ahead.
It's just it happens here all the time in my area. The biggest shoplifters, they go into Lowe's and stuff like that, and they're stealing like power tools, saw blades, things like that. They go right down the corner and sell it to the pawn shop and make just instant cash. It's a business to them at that point. Huh? It's ridiculous. You need to get your police forces, like with the Atlanta shit that went down. I don't know.
We're gonna get into it.
You're gonna get into that, yeah. But like, people don't want the police. Police are bad. Blah, 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 blah. Fight Antifa. You know, I don't know if you've seen that picture I posted of the Antifa guy that's like, looks like the Pillsbury Doughboy wearing a bulletproof vest, but like
meal team 6.
Respect my authority.
Respect my authority.
But
I'll be online later playing Call of Duty.
It's fucking clown world shit. No, we don't want police, but then you destroy your own communities when you're not policed. Fix yourselves. Stop stealing. Stop it.
So the owner of Del Fry says that the restaurant opened up right before the pandemic and it endured COVID. We were just getting back on our feet when the incident happened. When he learned it was happening, he rushed to the store and he visited his injured employees at the hospital. Now he wonders, this is a quote, if it is worth it to stay in the city. I'm thinking again, is it worth it? Is it worth doing anything in New York City anymore? My answer to that is no. Go to a community that is going to appreciate you.
Let's bring your business to Myrtle Beach. I'm sick of freaking Italian restaurants and sushi bars. Bring something different here, please.
Okay, so let's say Pookie was going to go out to dinner tonight, and there was whatever your choice was for restaurants. What is the number one restaurant that you would go to tonight, right now,
in my area?
Imagine that there was an infinite amount of choices right now for you to go to eat dinner tonight. Where would it be?
Oh, Whataburger, definitely. There's Whataburger.
So bring Whataburger to Myrtle Beach. I mean, it's working its way. It's because I think Chicago
coming in South Carolina, but
I think a Chicago firm bought Whataburger, and they're gonna like globalize it or actually bring it out to, both coasts.
But anything other than
it was
like, we got
weird.
all the
It was really
chain
weird
restaurant.
going down to Colorado. Going to Colorado with ice, and there was a Whataburger, and like right across the parking lot was not Five Guys. What's the other burger place from California? The
In-N-Out.
In-N-Out. In-N-Out, and then there was parking lot, and then there was Whataburger.
That's how it is in Texas now. It blew my mind last time it was in Texas. I saw In-N-Outs everywhere. It was like, you got full-blown California cancer.
Yeah. They're not bad burgers. I prefer my own, and then Whataburger's up there. In-N-Out is kind of down there. It's good. I'll eat it. Five Guys, no. Jack in the Box has a good their sourdough Jack is really good. That is.
I've had a good last time I saw the Greenville, whatever, Somerville or whatever it is up here in South Carolina, going towards the mountains. They have all the cool shit, and Jack in the Box. Being a girl I was dating.
What are you talking about, Holly?
What's that? It's in the middle of Tennessee and almost Kentucky. What's that?
I don't know. Whataburger?
You got a Whataburger? In-N-Out.
Good for you.
No, we rolled through that Jack in the Box. Let's just stop at the Jack in the Box. She's like, all right.
I need 577 tacos, please.
Tacos, jalapeno poppers, potato wedges.
Yes.
she's like, are you gonna eat it all? I was like, yeah, I'm gonna eat that all because I haven't had Jack in the Box in like 10 years. Shut up,
dude. I love Jack in the Box tacos. Those are the most disgusting, awesome tacos ever.
It's Whataburger.
Yeah, she said Whataburger. Okay, that's good.
They're getting them. They're getting them further north. I think the closest one to me is in Jacksonville, Florida, which I might be going down towards that way again in the next couple of weeks. We have to figure that out. But Daytona Beach is where I'm headed to. Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
So let's talk about the Cop City thing. I don't have any video or nothing cool like that.
Oh, I see.
But this is something. I mean, look at these fuckers. There's the attack in Cop City, which is a police training site near Atlanta, or in Atlanta. Nearly three dozen people have been detained after flaming bottles and rocks were thrown at officers during a violent protest at a new police training center outside of Atlanta. What's interesting to me is when I was looking for the story, the first 2 or 3 pages, when I put in Cop City for a search term, the first 2 or 3 pages, not just stories, pages of stories were like Stop Cop City. It was all the anti-Cop City type stuff. Authorities have charged 23 people with domestic terrorism in connection with the protest. The protesters are facing charges whose names and photographs were published, and I'm publishing them here on WTF Nation Radio. Were from various states around the United States, as well as Canada and France. Their ages range from 18 to 50. And the Georgia Bureau of Investigation have filed all these charges. An employee at the Southern Poverty Law Center was among those arrested. He's the guy over here, all the way on the right on the bottom. The dude on the green shirt. Highly educated individual decides to go all social justice on people.
Got the awesome neck beard. Love that, no?
Yeah, if you look at all these people, and I did this, I'm like, okay, what seems common?
You said the guy down the bottom left is a ringleader.
Bottom right, with the green shirt above the cause, above the cause.
I don't think he's the ringleader.
No, he's not the ringleader, but he's a lawyer.
Oh no, the ringleader is the red-haired one with the tattoo
guy
on it. I don't know if it's a guy or a girl.
That's a guy. That's a guy. It's got to be a guy.
I cannot tell anymore. That's the ringleader. It's got to be the one, or the one with the Nick Cage eyes. Look into that group photo and find Nicolas Cage crazy eyes.
Nicolas Cage crazy eyes.
And boom, you've got it.
But one thing came to my mind, I'm like, when I'm evaluating in my mind all these people, I'm like, this entire picture smells, because I don't think any of these people have fucking showered in weeks.
Educated lawyer doing this dumb shit. Our education, I'll tell you what. Look these people up. If you get a chance to look these people up down the future, I don't know if we could do a recap on this. Might put a pin in it.
Oh, let's put a pin in this.
Let's put a pin on this and come back next week, and see how many of these people are college educated.
College educated, as in they've earned their degree, or they're in college.
They're in college or earned a degree at some sort of substantial liberal arts school somewhere.
What their major was.
What their major was: underwater basket weaving,
dance theory, gender studies. Straight up indoctrinated by these communist damn education systems. I guarantee you, there's like 1, 2, 3, 4 of them that might not be. They're just there. The group theory. Yeah, I think Super Red right there on the top row there. I think that's a guy. I really do. I really, really do.
So
I don't know.
Tell no more. I mean, the guy with the beard's a guy.
Well,
he's got a nice looking beard too.
Oh, the bottom left dude.
No, I'm talking about very top, third from the.
Oh yeah,
left.
That's good.
He got a beard.
Maybe he was paid to protest.
That too, paid protesters. We can look into that. There's certain groups that will pay.
So you see the bottom left guy. He kind of looks scared. Has the beard. The person above him is a guy.
I can see that. No?
I can, in a halter top. That's pretty cool.
Just walking around. What was that guy? The energy waste management in the Biden's administration.
Oh yeah,
lipstick,
yes,
bald head, looking like a cone head, freaking walking around stealing women's dresses.
Matt Damon, that guy.
Damon. Bald Matt Damon with lipstick, wearing women's dresses. Yeah. Because you want someone totally in control of nuclear waste management.
So Reddit is full of people saying that it was a peaceful protest that Cop City overreacted to. Sorry, kids. Peaceful people don't bring Molotov cocktails and fireworks and whatever.
I saw the videos of that. These cops had freaking, them freaking mortar fireworks. You drop the 80 gram mortar, they shoot real high up and boom.
Yeah.
They're throwing them at them like hand grenades. It's popping off. The cops, I saw the cops covering their face trying to not get burned and shit from that. It was nuts.
So here on the left, this thing right here is a tweet that just says, "Hey, these are peaceful protesters and shit." And then Fox says, "No, here's video of these fuckers. This is video showing them, coming in, just all of them." With all of their things and stuff.
You got your FLIR thermal.
Yeah.
It looks like what's that? Lord of the Rings.
Oh, with all the orcs.
The orcs coming on Isengard or whatever it was. Helm's Deep.
Helm's Deep.
Yeah.
Just
I see shields.
Fields and fields of people.
You see shields and maces and makeshift swords and that. Yeah. That's totally like, ooh.
So here's my opinion. This type of behavior has been allowed to happen with little to no consequence for the last 6 years, and it's not gonna fucking stop ever until you enable cops to stop this type of behavior.
Smack their peepees.
Smack their peepees.
Problem solved.
So I've got a really weird note. Have you ever wrote really weird notes and there's no context to it?
I got an entire freaking book sitting right next to me.
My next note says 1 minute 52 seconds, and that means nothing because I've got no video.
I gotta go. Look. Let's see if I can find something that makes absolutely no sense. Why would ? Too much ? Question mark. Yeah. So I mean,
You get a lot of those, right?
yeah.
So our last crime story of the this is our last crime story of the night, and this is Utah. This is Utah. If you're ever going to be a victim of a crime, I'm guessing Utah is the place to be, because police in Utah say that a bank robbery suspect politely demanded $1 from a teller, and then he waited in the lobby for officers to arrive because
he wanted to go to jail.
He wanted to go to prison. Donald Matthew Santa Croce, age 65, was booked into the Salt Lake City jail on a robbery charge. Please pardon me for doing this, but this is a robbery. Please give me $1. Thank you. That was the note that he wrote to the Wells Fargo teller. When the teller gave the man $1 and asked him to leave, Santa Croce told the teller to call the police. The man took the money and then he refused to leave the bank. Donald said that he had done this because he wanted to get arrested and to go to federal prison. He said that he stated that if he gets out of jail, he will rob another bank and ask for more money the next time, trying to get the desired result for going to federal prison.
Health care.
I think this dude is going through some shit, and this is the decision that he made to seemingly get what he wants.
I mean, think about it. He might be losing his home. He might need health care, and he's thinking, shit, if I rob a bank, it's a federal crime. I'm going to get sent to 5, maybe 10 years. But when I'm there,
you'll get 3 hots in a cot.
3 hots in a cot and free medical or whatever, dental, whatever. He might have jacked up teeth that he can't afford. I mean, I've heard people say this sometimes. It's like, sometimes I think about robbing a bank because I'll get free health care and free food in the house. Like holy crap, I never thought about that. 3 hots in a cot, safe place. Well, not necessarily a super safe place to sleep, but probably safer than the situation they might be in today.
It beats the street.
Yeah.
So here's my notes on this. Maybe he lost his job and can no longer afford life out on the outside. Maybe he wants to just get away from his wife.
Yeah.
So it could be any of those. I don't know, man. I feel for the guy. I thank you, sir, for not shooting fuckers. So
did you have a gun?
Our last story of the night comes out of my backyard right here. Actually, my front yard, Fort Worth. Fort Worth City Councilman wants the city to consider a proposal to decriminalize marijuana possession up to 4 ounces.
No,
that's let's see, 4 ounces, 4, 8, 12. That's 1/3 of the weight of my phone.
No, if it's not legal in Texas, decriminalizing that much will just support the cartel at that point.
At that point,
they'll be able to move bigger stuff without fear of smaller stuff without fear of getting caught. Decriminalize. All right, they take it. All right, rinse, repeat. Let's keep selling.
Yeah. It's like, no, we're not going to. Would they even take it? I have no experience with this.
Decriminalization usually winds up like, here's a $25 fine. You don't need to report to court. Just pay it. If you pay it before the court date, or you can show up to court, whatever. You're still going to want to pay a fine. It's just a way for them to make money off it because they know it's slinging around anyways. They might as well just legalize it and tax it right at the fucking dispensary.
So those for it say dozens of non-violent offenders are jailed in Fort Worth for small amounts of marijuana are either black or brown. Councilman Nettles aims to decriminalize small amounts of marijuana in the city of Fort Worth. He says, quote, I want the city of Fort Worth to pass an ordinance that says if you have 4 ounces or less, you'll be given a civil citation. You'll be cited and you'll be released, meaning that you'll go on your way. You'll deal with the civil side. You'll deal with it on the civil side as opposed to going to jail. Right now in Fort Worth, officers currently, in their discretion, can cite and release nonviolent individuals found with up to 2 ounces of pot. He wants to up that to 4.
Yeah, no.
I'm thinking no. It's either legalize it or don't. It's either against the law or it's not.
If you're so headstrong on it being illegal because it's the devil's lettuce, then legalize it, criminalize it. Just legalize it. It makes no sense. Texas loses out on so much. I think I remember looking at like cash crops in Texas. I think marijuana was number 1 or number 2 on there next to cotton or something crazy like that. And it was illegal. Do the math on this. Let's just legalize it, tax it. People are freaking going to smoke it anyways and use it.
Yeah. It's not my thing. I won't do it. I don't do it. But if you want to, that's great.
You're not overdosing on it.
You can't.
I mean, alcohol is probably 1,000 times worse than marijuana, cannabis, whatever you want to call it.
I think so.
I mean, so I want to get off work. I had a stressful day. I got a headache. I'm tired. I'm busted.
Musa, please tell me what is the other side to the argument, please.
Find a U.S. Army. There is another side of the argument. Want to legalize it, so you have to go to Colorado or Missouri to get it. That's Virginia legalized it because I don't know if North Carolina, but D.C. had it legal, and it was just all over the place because of that. And they were realizing like, hey, we can't control it, and we're losing money to D.C. We might as well just legalize it.
But the thing is that they will do I think Colorado and California, for the most part, were on the forefront of all this. Legalize it both medically and recreationally. Medically, you can get your insurance to pay for, whatever the doctor prescribes for you. Recreationally, it's as legal as buying a case of beer, and I'm fine with that. I think the medical thing is kind of a cop out.
That's a cop out. It's a way for the government to control it, no?
Right? But these are small incremental steps to decriminalizing it. If you're going to completely legalize it, you're going to have to allow the dispensaries and the growers to actually use bank accounts rather than launder their money and then bring it into the bank.
Yes, that's the big thing is like where a lot of these states, like Ohio, I think. Oh, not Ohio, Michigan. I think Michigan has casinos, so I don't know how it works. My friend was trying to explain it to me. Is these guys will go to the casinos once a week, cash in a bunch of chips, go play a couple games of poker or whatever it is, or blackjack, and then go and cash your chips in. And now it's legal because it went through the system and are able to put it in the bank. And it makes
they would go there with $20,000. Let's say $20,000. They would buy chips. They would go play 2 or 3 games, and then they would cash out all their chips, and then get a check from the casino.
Yes,
and that's laundered.
It's laundered at that point, and it's really irritating because these banks are losing out on a shit ton of money. I mean, I'm legally allowed to grow it in my state. I'm illegally allowed to distribute it in my state, so I own the farm. I own the distribution ability to it, but I have to hoard my money in a damn safe and find ways to launder it, and that's ridiculous at that point. Like the federal government, I think
it's a reasonable argument. I mean, legalize it, treat it like
prohibition does not.
It work. Doesn't treat it like alcohol. I'm not saying that pot is better or worse. I'm just saying
alcohol is bad.
I think alcohol is worse physically on a body than pot.
You can see.
I'm not a doctor.
Down the streets in the inner city, and you'll see an alcoholic laying on the side of the road homeless, and we don't care about that.
But you know what I did?
God forbid he smokes a joint.
You know what I found when I did go to Colorado, when I went into Denver, is there was a lot of like marijuana tourism. Where people would move to Denver because pot's legal now, and then all of a sudden they can't hold a job or whatever. I mean, there's personal responsibility, and you have to put a lot of.
If your job says, "Hey, you can't smoke marijuana," you don't smoke marijuana.
If you work for NASA, I don't care what state you live in, you're not going to be able to do that.
Any federal job, it doesn't matter at that point. If your employer says, "I don't want you smoking," you don't smoke.
Right.
If you'd rather smoke than work, then you have an issue. You might need to freaking reevaluate yourself.
You have a choice to make.
You'd rather flip hamburgers for a living or run fiber optic cables and make a killing? But therein is I could crack a beer, and some of these companies don't care about it. As soon as I get off work, drink 2-3 beers, go to sleep, wake up the next morning, and they don't care about that.
But you also have those employees that don't crack 2 or 3 beers. They drink half a bottle of Jack.
But they still go to work the next day.
They still go to work.
Not a damn thing is said about it.
Exactly. There's a lot of if this then that, or if not this then that. You know, there's a bunch of booing. There's a lot of duplicity. There's a lot of duplicity in the reasons for the legalization and illegalization of certain substances.
Here in the South, it's just the devil's lettuce. You'll start playing jazz music and jump out a window and kill yourself.
I see we got so many comments. Deanna, thank you for commenting.
No smoke, no healthcare professionals, no smoke, like even tobacco, right? I've seen like some places
they won't hire you if you smoke, or they'll get you to quit to work because it's cheaper on their insurance programs. Is the whole gist behind it,
which is reasonable.
I mean, it makes sense. It's the employer's choice to make these rules.
Jazz cabbage, Heath.
Jazz cabbage.
Yeah. Smoke. You take 2 hits of it. Next thing you know, you're worshiping Satan, having sex with ducks.
Just like what?
Is sex with ducks bad?
I don't. Well, apparently nowadays you can do whatever you want, but
okay. I'm just wondering, dude. I'm just trying to find my way, man.
This is 1950s. You know, like this is your brain on drugs.
Oh my gosh!
Crack
blood on America's highways.
Like they straight up lied to you. Marijuana will make you suicidal. It'll make you kill babies.
I think it will. I think it will even the playing field of those who can and those who won't.
Just put chemicals in the water to turn a freaking frogs.
Legalize. But the thing is, if you're like, okay, fucking alcohol is legal, great, and it's regulated. Bring marijuana up to that same level, and treat it the same way.
Cocaine could be regulated. It was.
I don't want it to be.
I don't want it, but it was. Our grandfathers were drinking Coca-Cola with cocaine in it. You could buy little snuff boxes. You know, I mean, different times.
Or you can buy opium, or you know. There's always going to be a vice. There's always going to be a vice that's just going to fuck people up.
I mean, it's better than a fentanyl. Anything's better than a fentanyl. And I got this new stuff floating around.
Oh, fentanyl, man.
It's worse than fentanyl. It's like a mix of fentanyl and something else. But when you inject it, the injection sites start rotting out like a
dude, yeah.
It's like a crocodile or something.
Crocodile, yeah.
It's like
that's big in Florida. It's big in Florida.
Well, it's made its way in here, and they're talking about where I'm at, and everyone's talking about it. I was like, that's gross. Why would you ever do it? It's like meth. Why would you ever smoke meth? Why would you ever smoke crack? Can't wrap my brain around it. You've seen the pictures of people using meth.
Okay, so Heath and I are going to hang out this weekend, and we're going to lick some fucking toads.
Just don't lick the poison dart frog toads like the 2 hippies that went down to South America looking for cane toads. And
God damn
confused the poison dart frogs with the cane toad and killed themselves.
And they got consumed by the fucking rainforest. No, I'm fine with. I'm a conservative dude, but I really support the free choice thing. If you want to smoke pot. That's great, dude. But when we're doing like work at work, I don't want you going out there during your break time and smoking a fucking joint.
I'm gonna take a break, and then they come back smelling like a goddamn skunk because they smoke. And then they're not half able to function and not be able to do a job. Get out of here with this shit. You could have waited till the end of the day for that shit. But that's employers' prerogative to hire or fire people like that. Huh? I mean, I don't want someone operating heavy equipment. I would never want anyone. Alcohol or marijuana, like a train conductor. Like I don't even think train conductors are
Like
even allowed to
like a Norfolk Southern. You
Yeah,
can't
they're
even.
not- I don't think they're allowed to drink. I think they get alcohol tested.
They ought to,
because they're on call.
just
all
like
the
a
time.
just like a damn airline pilot.
Mm-hmm. But that's a employers and prerogative. I can't.
All four of those, whatever you said.
A prerogative.
A prerogative. Yes. I mean, dude, if you want to smoke, smoke. If you want to drink, drink. But make good decisions. I mean, that's about it. That's about it. I'm going to draw the line at that because I've got an issue with meth. I've got an issue with coke, and anything stronger than alcohol or pot. I've got a problem with that.
Well, it's like these are designer drugs. I really do believe a lot of these designer drugs, like the K2, the spice, the bath salts and stuff.
All the stuff you see in the truck stops and whatnot.
They evolved because of the drug war. Like if I could have just went and bought a joint at the gas station,
You're not going to need that
just
synthetic version of
Yes.
whatever that would have done
Because
for
I-
you.
Yeah, or cocaine. I need a. You can, what was that? Zethamine, Zephedrin, or whatever it is. The truck drivers are fucking chewing on like no one else's business. The yellow hornets.
Holly
or
says
whatever they call them.
shrooms are great for PTS.
Yes, they
That
are.
is actually
That's
true, and
medical.
it's medically proven because I think those studies are going on. It might be Colorado. I know it's
Those studies
Washington,
were going on
Washington State.
way before they were classified as Schedule 1. Like there's a whole documentary on it I watched on Netflix.
What I would
these
like
guys
to
were-
see, hold on a second. What I would like to see is a descheduling of pot. That would that would be awesome. That would be a really good first step federally, like nationwide. I sorry to step on you.
No, but the whole shrooms and they did MDMA was another one that they were studying real heavy.
What's the other one in South America? You can take tours down there to take
ayahuasca. That's
ayahuasca tours.
DMX, DXM. What is it called?
DMX is a rapper.
There's an actual term for the drug. Ayahuasca is the plant, but God, I can't remember the name of it. But apparently, that's really good mentally, like for people with depression and stuff like that. No? But no, we just why
DMT. Thank you,
there
Chris.
we go.
Chris
Thank you,
Maldonado
Chris.
for the win.
But like DMT, LSD, MDMA, all these psychoactive drugs that were outlawed and descheduled because
That motherfucker spelled the word. Yeah, fuck you, Chris.
I'm not even gonna try and say that.
Done with. I am.
Dimethyl
Dimethyltryptamine.
But
Still,
the
fuck you,
argument
Chris.
but the argument I'm going with is we have our own drug cartel in our own country, and they would rather push you shit that will give you Crohn's disease and all kinds of side effects. Like listen to Fox News or CNN. And
Dimethyl. Go ahead.
Dimethyltryptamine.
DMT.
But no, I mean we've got our own version of the cartel, and they sell us the craziest
It's a
shit.
legalized cartel, and thou shalt not step on the territory of the legalized cartel.
Of the big pharma. Marijuana fucks with that because it could be an antidepressant. It can be there's all kinds of things it can do for you. It's natural medicine.
You know what I want?
And they don't want that.
You know what I want is something that would allow me to sleep. When I want to go to sleep, I want to go to sleep, and I want to sleep all night. And my alarm goes off in the morning, and I want to be pissed off when it goes off. Like I don't want that waking like every hour. That sucks.
Yes, it
Yeah.
sucks. I take melatonin for that. No? That shit works pretty good.
I've moved beyond melatonin. I embrace the suck.
Oh,
I will go
embrace
to sleep at like 9 at night, and then I'll be up at 10:30. I'll go back to sleep, and I'll be up at 11. I'll go back to sleep. I'll be up at 12:30.
Fuck that. I can't do that because if I fall asleep for 30 minutes,
You're
up till-
recharged.
I'm done.
Exactly.
Boom.
Yeah.
I'm done.
Yeah.
I was balls to the wall like that in the military, and now even like I fall asleep 30 minutes. I take a 30-minute power nap watching Weather Channel or something like that. I'm bouncing off the walls trying to do things. Then I won't want to sleep at night, and I'm up till 3-4 in the morning. And when I finally do doze off, it's like I'm out.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. But yes, I mean, hey, marijuana, cannabis for veterans should be a thing. The VA should really be looking into that.
I think they should. And it shouldn't be. And it's a federal thing, dude. If the feds would get their hands off of it and just say, you do you.
Yeah, but who's their donors? Who are
I
their
know,
donors? It's the big pharmaceutical companies. That's why I was digging it. I was going to segue right into what we're talking about.
Medical purposes, yeah, Musa. I mean, but let's just say you had a rough day and just you want to have a gummy or you want to fucking smoke a joint. I don't think there's anything that should be against that.
Decompress. My brain is so.
You're gonna smoke a joint. You're gonna smoke a joint that's like a joint that's this big, or you're gonna drink a fucking 12-pack of beer.
Couch. Yeah, melt into my couch, watch TV, eat something, go to sleep, wake up the next morning. I'm recharged as hell. I'm ready to work. I'm a normal.
And you're not hungover.
Mm-hmm.
There's no hangover.
Unless you smoke too much and you're still high. But
right, that is true. That is true. It's nothing that I do. It's not for me. I don't like the way it makes me feel, so I don't do it.
Alcohol's the devil, but prohibition proved that you outlaw alcohol, then you just create a shit ton of crimes. Look at Chicago's still dealing with it to today.
Oh gosh. Hey, so what do you say? We've had a great show. Thank you all, man. We've had some great comments. I really appreciate it. We've had some new listeners. Musa, you are the most badass commenter because you're always here. Holly, I love you.
He got the MVP tonight, Musa.
But we're gonna like get out of here, man. It's like the end of the show.
We're like pushing 30 minutes past 30.
Yeah, and freaking mom never pays us overtime.
We never get paid overtime.
So that kind of sucks.
I need an extra taco this time around.
You know what? If you gave me a $20 gift card for fucking Jack in the Box tacos, I would be like forever loyal. Anyway, we've got shows 6 nights a week. The next show coming up is a sports bar, and that's going to happen on Sunday. Monday is the Monday edition. Tuesday is Pop Culture Warrior. Wednesday is The Smoke Pit with Radar and TZ. Sergeant's Time comes back on Thursday, and then we're right back here on Friday for Friday Night Freedom. Thank you very much for hanging out with us. I love every one of you, and the comments were awesome tonight. Thank you very much for participating. And my name is Kaz, and my co-host is Pookie, and everybody here is the most awesome people ever.
This is WTF Nation Radio.
Did you make a wish? Yeah. What'd you wish for? I wished for a big movie.
WTF Nation Radio.